Ellison, mRNA, because it's not all bad. I'm not coming out here and saying Trump is Trump is trying to bring us down to the fascist COVID medico techno tier. Now, it's not that cut and dry. But I can understand that people have some concerns. And then we're going to get into Donald Trump's pick for Secret Service Chief of Secret Service. Let's play the video. I'm going to play the video. If this man doesn't make you think that he's a sleazy used car salesman, we have different sleazy used car salesman detectors. This is Larry Ellison, founder of Oracle, CEO of Oracle, big fancy man, worth a lot of money, so he must know what he's talking about, right? Like, because Bill Gates, computer nerd, became a vaccine expert. Albert Bourla, freaking veterinarian, became chief mRNA, 100% successful COVID jet. Oh God, it hurts my throat to imitate his voice. That's God punishing me. All right, let me just play the video because it's this guy gives me some serious heebie-jeebie vibes.
So we're currently working on. Should I step on this? Okay. All right. No. I'm not that tall. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, stop. I'm going to interject with my body language analysis. This strikes me as being someone who's insecure with what they're about to say. I say this all, I've probably formulated my thoughts because I've seen the video. Okay, dude, you're at a freaking press conference. Like, even I wouldn't be making that many jokes about my modest stature. This strikes me already as a man who's uncomfortable, insecure in what he's about to say. And I think it pans out in what he says. Listen to this.
One of the most exciting things we're working on, using the tools that Sam and Masa are providing, is a cancer vaccine. It's very interesting. It turns out, I'll be quick, all of our cancer tumors, little fragments of those tumors float around in your blood. So you can do early cancer detection. If you can do using AI, you can do early cancer detection with a blood test. And using AI to look at the blood test, you can find the cancers that are actually seriously threatening the person. So we can, again, cancer diagnosis using AI has the promise of just being a simple blood test.
Anyone else following this? Okay, so we're using AI to early diagnose cancer. Okay, because the cancerous particles can be detected in the blood. And so we're going to do blood tests. And we're going to my understanding of what he's saying is, the AI doesn't analyze the blood. The AI is going to dissect the results. And this is where I absolutely wholeheartedly agree AI is going to replace doctors in terms of accuracy of diagnosis based on factual, statistically measurable results from blood. And even, just broadly speaking, connecting symptoms. It's a very interesting AI, artificial intelligence, AGI, artificial generalized intelligence. It's nothing more than pooling together the aggregate knowledge of humanity and then computing it based on the data. There's a reason why I say, like, the aggregate knowledge of the interwebs will find where the "he will not divide us" flag is faster than any one individual. The aggregate knowledge of the interwebs, when you take a snapshot picture of somebody and the flash goes off and they see the reflection is different in one eye than the next, and they say, you might want to go to a doctor, you might have a tumor. True story, by the way. And then the woman goes to the doctor and discovers, I think it was her kid, had a tumor in his eye. And the way that she found out was because the internet said the light reflecting off his eyes was different and you might want to go look at that. That's what AI is on godlike steroids. So the idea that AI is going to be able to more accurately diagnose in advance, and maybe even, like, thought crime is bad when it relates to human behavior, but medical diagnosis, thought crime medical diagnosis, diagnosing it before it happens based on behaviors, based on trace, based on history, based on predilections, is not a bad thing. So AI, it's going to be amazing. It might replace vets. It might replace hypochondriacs. And if I go to AI and say, like, I'll describe everything about me, what my bowel movements look like, what time I wake up, how many times a night I wake up, how many times I pee, what I eat, what I drink, how much I drink. And it'll say, all right, you might want to do X, Y, and Z tests. You go get the tests and say, oh, look at that. Your bilirubin levels are high. They're not. My liver enzymes are beautiful. But AI is going to be amazing. Don't have a freaking used car salesman who doesn't understand the mechanism try to pitch this in a minute and a half and thus cause a lot of skepticism, especially since it's coming from who this man is. Not someone with the medical expertise. He studied medicine. I think he didn't graduate, but he studied science, but we'll let it play.
Then beyond that, once we gene sequence that cancer tumor, you can then vaccinate the person, design a vaccine for every individual person to vaccinate them against that cancer. and you can make that vaccine, that mRNA vaccine.
Do you hear the words that he's just throwing out? First of all, early detection and early treatment, would that even be called a vaccine? If you detect that someone has, I mean, by this point also, you're detecting the cancer. You're just trying to identify what it was. Is it a vaccine to treat the cancer? I mean, we're just throwing the words out. Oh, mRNA gene sequences, and you can use AI. I'll let it go.
You can make that robotically, again, using AI in about 48 hours. So imagine
robotically using AI, you can make it in about 40. What the hell are you talking about?
Early cancer detection, the development of a cancer vaccine for your particular cancer aimed at you, and have that vaccine available in 48 hours. This is the promise of.
What is it? What is this, freaking vaccine lens crafters? Oh, you could come in and get your glasses in 48 hours. I mean, that's what they said. That's why, like, I used to go to Lens Crafters. I mean, it comes off smarmy. It comes off ignorant. It comes off totally unprepared. I'm going to show you the aftermath, which I didn't publish in the original video. And this guy is making people think, holy shit, Trump is getting duped yet again by different players this time. And we're going to see a COVID 2.0 of the original COVID 1.0.
The AI and the promise of the future.
Right, thanks.
Now, by the way, do you think he looks confident right now? He gets patted on the back like, congratulations, Joe, you answered all the questions.
Of the future.
Right, thanks.
Look at Trump. Now, let me show you the follow-up. I'll give you this tweet. What did I write with this tweet? Okay, underline point. First of all, you can't fault any president who wants to cure cancer. Everybody should want to cure cancer. My father-in-law passed away from cancer. If you could early diagnose and then specifically treat, not with massive washing through the body of toxic chemicals that kill everything good and bad. I mean, it would be amazing. A chemotherapy that attacks a specific, I don't know if the word would be gene, but that would attack the tumor and the tumor only. It'd be amazing. But it really sounded like Ellison has no idea what he's talking about. Comes out there, makes it look like Trump is getting duped by people who are just interested in selling you snake oil, much like Fauci, much like Bill Gates, much like Albert Bourla. And people are concerned, legitimately so, that this is going to be COVID 2.0. But then, by the way, I wanted to include this as the follow-up, because watch Trump immediately after. And you tell me what his body language looks like, because it doesn't look like he was instilled with confidence, which is a problem into itself. I'll get to it in a second. Look.
Have that vaccine available in 48 hours.
Look at this.
This is the promise of AI and the promise of the future.
Sounds like the guy selling the dreams in Total Recall. Look at Trump.
Yeah, just 1 second and we'll finish up. But these are highly respected guys. I was shocked with Larry because I don't even think Larry does this stuff. You did a very good job for a guy that doesn't do it much, right?
Yeah.
But he's so respected, and the group, and it's really an honor. But
so Trump sees promise here, and Trump is a man who acts on intuition, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's actually very good. And I think his intuition right there was, Larry, I think you just kind of blew our soft launch here. Trump knows that there's technology to be made here. Trump knows that there are jobs to be created here. And Trump knows that there is the AI element of the future, that you don't want this being developed to the extent it can be successfully developed. You don't want it developed in India or China. But my goodness, don't send Larry Ellison up. You send Bill Gates up. Nobody trusts these big tech CEOs. Nobody trusts even the medical CEOs. Don't send them up there to blow the sales pitch of very futuristic technology that really still brings back bad memories of the very failed old technology. But Trump didn't look very inspired after Larry spoke. Larry didn't look inspired, and it looked like they were treating Larry like old Joe Biden. You did your best, and now we're going to have to try to polish off this turd. Bottom line, lots of investment in AI, lots of investment in mRNA. We'll see what would instill some confidence before launching into another failed venture. Look back into the old failed venture. Maybe we'll have to wait until RFK is approved. What's it called? Approved, ratified, confirmed as head of HHS. Go look into the last failed. First of all, acknowledge that it was failed, Donald, Mr. Trump, President Trump. Acknowledge that it was a failure. Acknowledge that it caused irreparable harm to tens of millions of people, and that no one's going to blame you to the extent that you were, in fact, as duped as the rest of us. But look into the previous failed attempt at deploying at a mass scale with mass real-time human experimentation. Look into that failed venture before embarking on the new one, because people are still a little bit salty from the last one. But no, it's not bad that a president wants to cure cancer, and he's actually already doing more for that moonshot than Joe Biden. But yeah, it is bad to really cause people to fear that we're going to enter COVID techno tyranny 2.0.